Wait. Don't scroll away. This woman is the reason behind many of your problems. Her name has been kept secret from you, even though she controls parts of your life every day. She's not just a random person, she's actively blocking your success, creating roadblocks, and stopping you from reaching your true potential. After years of research, her identity can finally be revealed. This isn't made up. She's a real force explaining why the same struggles keep showing up in your life no matter how hard you try to move forward. She's been pulling strings behind the scenes throughout your entire journey. Until today, this woman remained hidden because you weren't ready to spot her tricks. Now that moment has arrived. Everything that feels stuck or limited in your life connects straight back to her quiet influence on your choices. This reveal explains all those unexpected setbacks. The roadblocks that appear just as you gain momentum. The self-defeating actions that seem to come from nowhere. The negative thoughts that feel impossible to shake. These aren't accidents. They're her direct impact on your everyday life. Her control started so gradually you never caught on. Like water slowly filling a basement, her power spread through your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs about what you can achieve. You were meant for so much more than the limits she's placed on you. Facing her means dealing with hard truths. Ways you've unknowingly let her take control. Dreams abandoned because of her whispers. Relationships damaged by her constant interference. Her grip won't loosen by itself. The stars have aligned perfectly for this moment of truth, creating a rare chance for freedom. If you'd discovered her earlier, you wouldn't have been ready. Any later and her control might become permanent. People who first recognize her influence often feel a jolt of awareness, uncomfortable yet strangely freeing at the same time. Hit that like button right now to start breaking her hold over your life. This simple action creates the first crack in her control system and kicks off your path to freedom. Guardians of truth surround you in this moment of discovery. They've watched this woman gain power in your life, waiting for today when you'd be ready to see her clearly and take back control of your story. Drop a comment saying "I'm taking back control" if you're ready to identify the woman who's been holding you back, often without you even realizing how much she's limited you. The moment you write these words, her power begins to fade and your natural strength starts flowing again. This could be the most important discovery of your life. Your future success depends on seeing her clearly. Act now though, this moment of clear vision won't last long, and she's working hard to keep you distracted. Her control tactics started with small, almost invisible moves. The clues have always existed, hidden patterns connecting your struggles to her shadow influence. Remember those times when your confidence suddenly crashed for no reason? When excitement about a new opportunity turned into doubt overnight? When you found yourself making excuses instead of taking action? These weren't random feelings, they were her direct interference with your mind and heart. Drop a comment saying "I see the pattern now" as your eyes open wider. Her tactics leave specific fingerprints that have marked your experiences for years. Each random setback or unexplained hesitation links directly to her behind-the-scenes work. Through honest self-reflection, her methods become obvious. Maybe you've noticed how exciting chances seem to slip away just as you reach for them. Or how certain negative thoughts repeat in your head at the worst possible moments. Perhaps you've felt an invisible weight holding you down when you try to move forward. Your mind absorbed her limiting messages without realizing it. They planted seeds of doubt, worry, and hesitation throughout your thinking. Even your body carries the weight of her restricting presence. Look deeper and the connections jump out clearly. Those moments when you knew you could succeed but felt mysteriously blocked. When your natural talents suddenly seemed inadequate. When your drive vanished without explanation. These weren't coincidences, they were her calculated interference. True understanding comes through recognition. Her influence runs deeper than you realized, stemming from subtle programming that began before you could even spot what was happening. Let's expose her tactical playbook. This woman strikes at perfectly calculated moments in your journey. She waits until you're about to break through, then hits you with waves of doubt, worry, and limitation. She follows a precise schedule. Right before important decisions. Immediately after initial success. During periods when growth seems possible. Pay attention to exactly when negative thoughts suddenly flood your mind. Comment: I'm tracking her moves now as you learn to spot her strategic attacks. Everyone faces her interference at predictable points, knowing this helps you prepare powerful defenses against her. Looking closer reveals her favorite tricks. She plants thoughts like better wait until you're more prepared when opportunity knocks. She turns small mistakes into proof you're not good enough. She gets you comparing your behind the scenes to everyone else's highlight reel. These aren't random thoughts, they follow her systematic approach to keeping you small. Watch how she adapts her approach. When direct discouragement fails, she switches to delay tactics. When delay stops working, she floods you with distractions. Now you can recognize which specific methods she's currently using against your potential. Study her psychological timing carefully. The exact moments when confidence suddenly vanishes. When clarity becomes confusion. When motivation transforms into a "I'll do it tomorrow." These aren't random, they follow her precise manipulation techniques that you can now identify. Beyond just thoughts, watch your emotional patterns. Your excitement dampens at specific progress points. Your energy drops when approaching breakthroughs. Your focus blurs when clarity would lead to success. These emotional shifts signal her active interference. The truth stands clear now. This woman has been stealing valuable resources from your life. Energy that should fuel your dreams gets diverted into struggle and limitation. Look at what she's taken from you. Maybe your natural confidence in certain areas has been systematically undermined. Perhaps your creative expression has been forced into safe channels rather than bold new directions. Possibly your authentic voice has been silenced by manufactured fears of judgment or rejection. Comment: I'm reclaiming what's mine as you identify which parts of yourself she's suppressed longest. Your natural talents, gut instincts, and creative powers have been filtered through her limiting lens. See clearly what's been stolen. You didn't give up these gifts willingly. Her influence created hidden energy drains, pulling away power that rightfully belongs to your true self. Real strength returns through conscious reclaiming. As you recognize what's been taken, these energies naturally flow back to you. You can reintegrate these aspects with greater awareness and protection. Understand the full value of what she stole. Time and energy wasted in repetitive limitation patterns. Opportunities missed through hesitation. Connections delayed through unnecessary fears. Your awareness now creates the perfect chance to reclaim these resources. Beyond material losses, she diminished your spiritual energy too. The natural enthusiasm for life's possibilities. The intuitive flow of inspired action. The joy of creating from your deepest self. All these vital energies can now be fully restored as her influence weakens. The cost has been high, but nothing is permanently lost. Everything taken can be reclaimed once you recognize the theft. The final veil drops away now, revealing this woman's true identity. Her name is fear, false evidence appearing real. She isn't a physical person but a powerful thought pattern that has taken form in your mind, creating the illusion of external imitation while actually operating from within. See clearly how this entity works. Those unexplained limitations weren't coming from outside forces but from internalized patterns of fear-based thinking. That feeling of being blocked? Just fear distorting your natural abilities. The instant hesitation when facing new opportunities. Fear's automatic activation in your nervous system. Comment: I'm facing fear directly as you grasp fear's full influence. Beyond just thoughts, this energy affects your physical body, emotional responses, and your entire energy field. This explains why logical arguments alone never fully broke its power over you. Trace fear's origins in your life. Perhaps childhood experiences created initial protective patterns that later became restrictive. Maybe messages from society reinforced limitation beliefs that your conscious mind rejected but your body still holds. Possibly ancient survival patterns activated in response to threats that no longer exist in your current reality. Understand how fear maintained its disguise so long. By pretending to protect you, this energy convinced you it was necessary. By highlighting everything that could go wrong, it distracted you from possibilities. By triggering stress responses in your body, it created evidence that danger existed even when opportunities were completely safe. Fear isn't evil, it's a misguided protector that no longer serves your highest good. With this recognition, its power begins to transform. Look deeper at the complex relationship you've developed with fear. This wasn't simply fear attacking you, but a sophisticated dance serving specific purposes in your growth. See how the relationship formed originally. Fear genuinely offered protection during vulnerable periods of your life. Its cautionary influence prevented certain mistakes or hasty decisions. Its restraining effect gave you time to develop skills needed for later challenges. Comment: I'm changing our relationship as you define fear's proper role versus its overreach. Some caution promotes wisdom while excessive limitation blocks your true expression. Discernment becomes your key to setting healthy boundaries with this energy. Notice the patterns in your dance with fear. those times when you automatically believed fear's perspective without questioning it. The habitual surrendering of your power when fear presented worst-case scenarios. The unconscious agreement that safety matters more than fulfillment. These patterns can now be consciously renegotiated. Recognize fear's positive intent despite its negative impact. This energy genuinely tried to protect you from perceived threats, though its danger assessment became increasingly distorted over time. You can appreciate this protective intention while establishing new, healthier boundaries. See fear's role in your evolution clearly. Challenges created by its influence developed specific strengths you wouldn't have otherwise gained. Resilience, discernment, and conscious choice-making grew through navigating fear's limitations. You can harvest these gifts while releasing restrictive patterns. Move beyond seeing fear as enemy or controller. It becomes neither villain nor master but information source properly managed by your higher wisdom. Discover dormant capabilities awakening as fear's grip loosens. These abilities always existed within you, waiting for fear's control to weaken so they could express freely in your life. Notice intuitive powers expanding. The ability to know which opportunities align with your true path without endless analysis. Sensing which people and situations support your authentic expression. Receiving creative inspirations that transcend previous limitations. These intuitive gifts strengthen dramatically as fear's filtering effect weakens. Comment: I'm activating new abilities as courage increases naturally in your life. Taking aligned action despite uncertainty becomes your new normal. Your mind aligns more directly with creative forces rather than fear-based protection. Watch authentic expression emerge clearly. Speaking your truth without fear of judgment. Creating without obsessing about others' responses. Following your unique path without needing constant approval. These expressive abilities develop rapidly during fear's diminishing influence. Experience expanded perception in daily life. Seeing possibilities where previously you noticed only problems. Recognizing helpful coincidences guiding your path. Perceiving the support constantly available for your journey. These perceptual abilities clarify through your liberation from fear's distortion. Discover communication beyond fear's constraints. Expressing vulnerability as strength rather than weakness. Connecting authentically rather than through protective masks. Offering your gifts without fear-based qualification or apology. These communication abilities accelerate as fear's censoring effect decreases. Beyond individual abilities, your connection to others strengthens. Your awareness expands to recognize support constantly available from many sources, eliminating the isolation fear created through its separation-based perspective. These aren't new skills to learn, they're natural abilities revealed as fear steps aside. Understand what happens during liberation from fear. This knowledge helps you navigate the freedom process with awareness rather than confusion when old patterns try to reassert themselves. Expect some initial discomfort. A feeling of vulnerability as familiar protection dissolves. Uncertainty as new choices become available. Increased responsibility as conscious creation replaces reaction. These experiences signal successful release from fear's limitation patterns. I'm embracing the process as you discover navigation tools. Your authentic feelings provide better guidance than fear's artificial warnings. Trust becomes your compass, showing which direction serves your growth despite fear's attempted interference. Watch for liberation landmarks along the way. The recognition phase where fear's voice becomes clearly separate from your authentic knowing. The testing stage where new choices create evidence of expanded possibility. The integration point where freedom becomes your natural state rather than constant effort. These markers help you track successful progress. Understand energy fluctuations during the process. Temporary slides backward when triggered by challenges. Periods of remarkable clarity and courage between integration phases. Moments of uncertainty as new patterns stabilize. These fluctuations show healthy transition rather than problems. Experience identity expansion through this journey. Who you thought yourself to be transforms as fear's definition dissolves. Limited self-concepts based on fear's perspective fade as your true nature emerges more fully. This identity shift might temporarily create uncertainty until your expanded self stabilizes. Let direct experience become your teacher. Each liberation phase brings exactly the experiences needed for your continued growth. Fighting the process limits its benefits, surrendering to growth maximizes transformation. The path isn't always comfortable, but freedom waits on the other side. Glimpse the nature of life after fear's influence diminishes. This preview helps you recognize your new reality as your liberation process completes. Watch expanded possibility become your normal state. What once seemed risky or impossible becomes your natural expectation. The artificial ceiling fear placed on your potential permanently lifts, allowing continuous growth beyond previous limitations. I'm stepping into my new life as relationships transform around you. Connections based on authentic expression replace fear-based interactions. Communication flows beyond protective barriers as honesty becomes your natural state. Discover clarity about your purpose. Your unique contribution becomes unmistakably evident as fear no longer hides your natural gifts. Service aligns perfectly with joy rather than obligation. Work and play merge into one creative expression serving your highest vision. Experience changes in how quickly things manifest. Creation happens faster as fear no longer delays implementation of inspired ideas. Responsibility and power increase simultaneously as you recognize your true creative impact. Notice shifts in how you make decisions. Intuitive knowing supports logical analysis rather than being suppressed by it. Multiple perspectives integrate naturally without fear, creating artificial hierarchy of information. Your choices reflect wholeness rather than fragmentation. Feel movement through life accelerate beyond fear's restrictions. Goals manifest with surprising speed when fear's delay tactics no longer operate. Opportunities multiply as your energy broadcasts clear signals of readiness rather than mixed messages. Discover how life simplifies beyond fear. Energy previously used maintaining protective barriers becomes available for joyful creation. Relationships deepen when fear no longer monitors vulnerability. Purpose fulfills when fear stops questioning your worthiness. This isn't fantasy, it's your natural state beyond fear's distortion. Understand how your liberation creates pathways for others still caught in fear's influence. Your experience offers valuable guidance without requiring direct interference in their journeys. Learn effective communication approaches. Rather than directly challenging others' fear patterns, your embodied freedom creates safe space for their own recognition. Your steady presence demonstrates possibility more effectively than logical arguments against limitation. Comment: I'm sharing this wisdom as you discover transmission methods. Your energy communicates freedom possibilities without words. Your actions show fear-free living more powerfully than speeches. Your results provide evidence that transcending fear creates real benefits. Recognize teaching moments as they arise naturally. When others express fear-based hesitation, your compassionate recognition supports their awareness without judgment. When limitation patterns appear in groups, your clear seeing helps others distinguish between wise caution and fear's distortion. Develop balanced assistance methods. After establishing your own liberation, you can temporarily hold space for others' recognition process while maintaining your freedom. This creates powerful awakening opportunities without becoming entangled in others' fear dynamics. Cultivate compassion by remembering your own journey stages. Your liberation experience creates understanding for others facing similar challenges. Love flows more freely through you as judgment dissolves regarding others' current limitation patterns. Let embodied freedom become your primary offering. Your presence itself transmits liberation energy to those around you. Words become secondary to the field of possibility you generate through your completed fear transcendence. Learn to maintain your liberated state while interacting with those still influenced by fear. Specific practices help you remain fully conscious during these encounters rather than being pulled back into old patterns. Your freedom naturally inspires others without forcing change. The most profound truth about fear now emerges with perfect clarity. Discover fear's ultimate weakness. Despite its apparent strength, fear cannot exist in the presence of full awareness. Like darkness instantly vanishing when light enters a room, fear's influence disappears when directly recognized without resistance or belief. Comment: I choose freedom now as you learn final protection steps. Center your attention in present reality completely. Notice when thoughts project negative futures or dig up painful pasts. Return consistently to now, where fear has no territory except what your attention gives it. See the perfect design behind it all. Fear's presence in human experience served the development of consciousness. Nothing was wasted. All experiences contributed to awakening beyond limitation. Grasp the profound simplicity of true freedom. Liberation requires no complex techniques or elaborate practices. Simply recognizing fear as it appears and seeing it without believing it completes all necessary steps. Understand the eternal truth. Your essential nature exists beyond fear's influence, continuing undamaged regardless of how long limitation seemed real. Experience complete liberation now. All this wisdom integrates into your being, permanently changing your relationship to fear itself. Feel power filling your entire awareness. Every thought, feeling, and choice aligns with freedom as fear's name loses its control forever.